Hi everyone, welcome to the recorded session Path to ASCP 2024 Chicago annual meeting. Today with Dr. Sukriti Baskuta, I will be presenting teaching and learning via social media in the era of digital pathology. My name is Poonam Vora. I'm a professor at UCSF, San Francisco, and you can see my Twitter handles below. Also, my username for Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook is listed there. Now I'll give this to Dr. Sukriti Baskota to start the presentation.
Thank you, Dr. Vora. Hello, everyone. I'm really excited to be here. I hope you get to enjoy the live meeting at ASCP 2024. I am Sukriti Baskota. I'm currently an assistant professor at UC Davis Medical Center, and you can see my social media handles listed below. I'm mostly active in Twitter at Baskota Cytopath. Next slide, please. So, disclaimer, all the social media images that we have used in this PowerPoint presentation, except for our own, is with the user's permission. So, talking about the objectives of this presentation, first we're going to talk about benefit of social media, understand why social media can be used in teaching and learning. After that, we are going to gear towards how to get started in social media and identify the do's and don'ts of social media. So let's talk about why we need social media, right? Uh, Always remember you are the boss when you are using a social media. It is under the user's control. So you can use it as a means to relax, instead of scrolling through different reels or even TikTok videos. You can take it as an opportunity to see what is going on in the pathology world. It is available to you in your hands 24/7. So it is for your convenience. Third thing, it is very quick to post or even learn some excerpt of the postings. It's a very quick medium and impactful if you want to reach to global audience. Thousands and thousands of audience are looking at the social media at your one particular post at the same time of the day. So why use social media for teaching and learning? So, learning the old way is like going to the bookstore, getting a book that you will find helpful for the pathology boards, or even reading an ebook. Once you are bored reading throughout the day, whether it is digital versus a handbook, even in your downtime, you can scroll through social media and find very educational, relevant post to whatever you are preparing for, whether it is a board exam, whether it's your regular sign out day, or whether it's your fellowship examination. Here you can see some of the examples of the helpful tweets which I actually followed and learned from when I was sitting for my pathology board exam. In the first image, you can see the urine crystals, very nice demonstration. In second image, you can see they were lot of polling put in a multiple choice questions pattern, which you usually deal with any competitive exams that you are going for. Third, you will also know about different board related preparation books. Not only the books, it also keeps you in touch with the relevant articles, new classification system, which we will dive more further detail in our today's talk. So, like for the example of this case, Dr. Ali is a world-renowned cytopathologist, and you can see he posted a very wildest and spectacular example of emperor-polysis, which you might not find in all the textbooks. He posted an example of undifferentiated carcinoma of the lung here. So most of the experts in the field of pathology, you name it, you can find it in Twitter.
Now I'll talk about, as Dr. Baskota said, there are a lot of benefits of social media, and one of the benefits is staying updated for live posting at conferences. And why this is great, because it's more interactive and engaging experience. It makes it more fun. And unlike traditional methods, you can get instant feedback and you can start instant discussions and share ideas quickly. For example, you can ask questions, run polls, and have live chats with get everyone involved. And second advantage of live posting at conferences is distilling topics into short take-home messages instead of going through the entire talk or presentation, summarizing the big topics into short, easy to remember take-home points. And it encourages you to keep things brief, helping your audience focus in the most important ideas. And then, of course, social media allows you to connect with the people all over the world because you're sharing something educational, promoting an idea, or just chatting. You can reach global audience through live posting. And another major advantage of this is you can attend multiple sessions happening simultaneously. It allows you, for example, during an online conference, you can keep up with multiple presentations through updates, through videos and discussions. And this way you won't miss out on everything which is happening at the same time. And I'll show you a few examples of the benefits of live posting. For example, this is a live video demonstration of use of phantom preparation for fine needle aspiration guided FN at ASC in 2023 at the ASC meeting. And this is the ultrasound guided workshop. And basically, Dr. Ron Balasanian is showing how to make phantoms. And this was presented in the social media so that everybody around the world can access it and learn from it. So very instant communication and engagement among the users. And as far as staying updated, you can cover national and international meetings. Social media is a very powerful tool for staying up to date with with the latest developments in national and international meetings. And these are the various examples where in the first image on the left side, through Papnakalao Society webpage, we are trying to tell the audience to come to this session, which is presented by different presenters. And the other example here is a very interesting discussion and input on multidisciplinary approach on diagnosis of an entity. Then the right side image is showing how to deal with cystic lesions of pancreas. And it's a beautiful diagram to show how to triage these specimens. So these platforms allow you to follow real-time updates, summaries, and discussions from conferences and meetings around the world. Even if you cannot attend that in person, which is very important, that even if you're not there in person, you're getting all the take-home messages. And this makes it very easy to stay informed and connected. We can also follow various journals, and here you have the example of Journal of American Society of Cytopathology, Modern Pathology, all latest journals and like diagnostic cytopathology. You can see their updates, their publications. For example, in the next slide, this is an example of recent publication on diagnostic cytopathology and also on modern pathology. Basically, it's an excellent source to get to stay updated on the latest publications, especially in pathology and also cytopathology. You can quickly learn about new research and publication, and that will keep your knowledge current, and you can explore new findings. You'll get more ideas to do your own projects through these publications. Not only that, we also learn about new and updated classification through social media. As we know, classification system, whether it's WHO or it's another, for example, Milan system, or given on the left side example, and on the right side, I have the second edition of Paris system. It's constantly evolving, and there new research and discoveries are made. So staying updated on these is crucial for accurate diagnosis and treatment planning. And social media provides you a convenient way to keep track of these new and changing and evolving classification systems. So key thing here is to follow the key people who are into social media and posting these updates. So that will keep you current. Another way we can do share the knowledge of pathology is through sharing case of the month, and this is an example through again Pathology Society, where we share timely case reports. And by following these cases, you can learn from real world examples, see how others approach difficult diagnosis. And this regular exposure not only will improve your diagnostic skills, but also it is an excellent way to keep learning in a practical and interactive manner. We can follow various organizations in pathology like ASCP, USCAP, College College of American Pathologists, RC Pathologist. These are different examples, and cytopathology.org. We can stay updated. What are they doing? Are they making new committees? And if you want to volunteer in those committees, so these all opportunities we can see when we are following these major various organizations. Now, in addition to this, social media is a great way to keep up with news about residency and fellowship programs, as well as updates from pathology societies. And by following these accounts, for example, UCSF Cytopathology or Mayo Clinic Pathology, these are different you can follow their social media handles, and you can easily find about their application deadlines, new programs, their conferences, and new fellowship openings, or even faculty job openings. And this makes the most of the opportunities available in the field of pathology. And I'll give to Dr. Sukriti Baskota to talk more about various opportunities in this area.
So, like Dr. Bora mentioned, the presence in social media doesn't really have to be only dedicated to your learning. You could actually branch out, fly your wings to different other parts of building your career as a successful academician. The first image to your left shows call for mentorship through Match to Path platform, where you can apply within the comfort of your hands and even when you are enjoying your downtime with family. Second is from Cytopathology, American Society of Cytopathology organization, which is calling for Shark Tank Cytology Foundation competition, which provides grant up to $25,000. Similarly, like Dr. Bora mentioned in the prior slide, the third image shows tweet by Dr. Sinchita Roy, where she announced pathology fellowship training application for cytopathology at MD Anderson. If you, like Dr. Bora mentioned, if you take time to understand who are the key players in your field, which you are interested to go to, and keep following their account, you will eventually come to see a lot of these opportunities, and you can get ahead in your career as well as build a strong CV. Next slide, please. So going back to the how I utilize the opportunities that were presented in social media and helped me build in my career. The tweet to your left was done by Dr. Chandra during when COVID hit. He invited trainees to work on an article with him. I approached him through Twitter DM, which is a direct message. After that, few months later, we were able to print an article related to COVID-19 in Cytopathology, which I again tweeted. So this is another example of how not only you will get the opportunities, but even like a very innovative ideas are brought to fruition through social media. There are numerous examples that many individuals have posted in social media. This is the one which I was part myself. That's why I'm talking about this. This was initiated with one tweet by Dr. Mukhopadhyay, where he asked the audience, "How many mitosis do you see in one picture?" And he put a poll as a follow-up tweet to this tweet. Following that, Dr. Matt Cicchini from Canada asked, how did we actually learn to count mitosis and how much inter-observer variability is present to identify these mitosis in real life cases? With that, he came up with a project. Next slide, please. Which was called 1,000 Mitosis Project. And you can see how many people collaborated from around the world. We had around like 39 countries of practice represented in this article, which was recently published in International Journal of Surgical Pathology.
Moving on with that, social media helps with connectivity and networking, as we know, and it also allows instantaneous global interconnectivity. And here we show you an example of social media committee of Papnicolau Society. We bring together pathologists from different countries and we all collaborate and share updates on pathology. And this collaboration helps to spread information quickly and fosters a worldwide community of professionals working together. So this is a great example, like people from all over the world came together to make social media committee for Papnicolau Society, and we are all working towards it to spread all the updates for this society. Not only that, social media helps build connection that start online, and then we can move into real life interactions. The hashtags meeting online to real life refers to idea of forming relationships and professional networks online, and then moving to face meetings. And in these pictures, we met all our colleagues through online collaborations, but later on national meetings, and this is the latest meeting of ECC, European Cytology Conference in Leipzig, Germany, where we all met. And you can see there's Dr. Ashish Chandra and Dr. Ritu Nair, and this is again a great way to connect globally, not only online but then in person also, but the start was online. In addition to all the benefits Dr. Sukriti Baskota and I spoke about, there are other opportunities like leadership opportunities. And both Dr. Baskota and I got a couple of leadership opportunities. We not only became social media committee members for Papnicolau Society, but we also were on the social media board for diagnostic setup pathology, which we are still working and doing work for both these organizations. So it offers many opportunities, and by actively engaging on these platforms, you can share your expertise, you can lead discussions and contribute to important conversations in your field. And this visibility is very important because you are then recognized as a leader, and a lot of doors open to the roles such as committee membership, speaking engagements, and even leadership positions within the professional organizations. Another thing which can be done on these social media platforms is e-general chat. And you can announce e-general chat and talk, then you can have a talk or a chat with the author about the highlights of that discussion. Recently, I published this paper on urine cytology in patients with gender confirmation surgery and hormone therapy with Dr. Nika Korsandi. So we both presented e-journal chat. We were interviewed about our findings and few other interesting questions. So it's a great way to showcase your manuscript and your publications and highlight the key points. YouTube channels are also a very valuable source for pathology education, and many experts and educators create these videos that cover wide range of topics from basic concepts to complex cases. And these videos can be accessible anytime, and it's a great way to add to your learning, whether you are a student, resident, or practicing pathologist. And yeah. Another way to share these is through podcast. And the thing I like about podcast is you can listen to them anytime, whether when you are working out or you're commuting, whenever you have some free time. And again, there are various topics which are presented in these cytopath pods and other podcasts also. And these are some of the examples. Like one of them was a view inside AI and digital cytopathology. Other one was about mastering Jiva and PAP test. So as you can see, a lot of different things can be done through social media. There are a couple of surveys which I came across when I was part of this social media. And I saw that the classification systems, when they are evolving, they send surveys to get input from not only national but international audience also to make it more robust. So that is another use of social media. I'm going to give this next slide to Dr. Sukriti, who's going to talk about how to start in social media.
So we have reached towards around half of our session. I hope our slides and efforts have made you convinced to get started in social media. Just to give you one more real life example, Dr. Bora and I also met through social media. We collaborated in a lot of different things before we actually met in person, and we ended up collaborating a lot more. So you may be able to find your next mentor through social media. So now, since we have already almost convinced you, I guess by now, to get started in social media, now I want to show you some tidbits which I found helpful when I was starting out in social media. So there are various platforms to get started with, and it can get overwhelming. But so far, in my observation, probably Twitter is the most dominant one because of its user friendly platform. It is multifunctional, and you see a very dominant presence of pathologists in Twitter. Other platforms which are available are Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I see more global pathologists involved in Facebook. Instagram and LinkedIn is still evolving, and TikTok has become a new favorite for younger generation of pathologists. But I would say it still has a long way to go to have a dominant presence of the pathologist community. So what are the differences? Okay, in Twitter, you have the character limit, which I think which made many users look for other alternatives where there are no character limits. So Twitter has 280 character limits. That's where comes my argument of it is very quick. You cannot type more than 280 characters, so you have to be short and sweet and be able to give your message, right? And you can only embed up to 4 images or a website link or a short videos. Another, you can also index your context through the use of the hashtags, which I will go in more details. And it is not only pertinent to Twitter. Same thing holds true for all across the other social media platforms when it comes to hashtags or at the rate. Another is Facebook. Facebook, Instagram doesn't have the characters limit. So, it obviously becomes another go-to platform for pathologists who are not always character limited. We by nature like to put a lot in our histologic findings, microscopic images, right? So, bigger is always better still to me. If you are annoyed by the Twitter character limit, there is a way how you can get rid of it if you become a verified account holder. That is, if you subscribe to their premium account, there is no more character limit. Next slide, please. So let's talk about. I will be focusing most of my talk in how to get started in Twitter, but it is somewhat similar across the other social media platforms as well. First image shows the, just when you click on sign up for Twitter, this is the first image that shows to your left. You can sign up using your own email, or you can create a username. I would suggest, if you are using your Twitter account or any social media platform for professional use, to keep it very professional. I like using my last name with the main subspecialty field of practice that I have been doing, but you will see people doing various things, and some of them has a very catchy name. Like one of my colleague has his Twitter handle as CD45DIM. You can guess which practice he does mostly. This is an example of my Twitter handle and how I have limited it to only professional appearance. Probably it is something better to do. If you use your title of MD, FACP, it will give a chance for other fellow physicians to follow you of your subspecialty of practice. So basically, you're trying to follow the things that you will need. Next slide, please. And this is once you logged into the Twitter, this is how our home page appears like. You can compose a tweet from right there where you see a box called what's happening. Write it down. You can save it as a draft or release it immediately. Or alternatively, to your left bottom, you are seeing a tweet tab. You can hit that tab, and again a new screen appears where you can type your tweet and release it. Next slide, please. So like I was saying earlier, @@ is when you use in front of any user account. For instance, if you want to tag me in your tweet, you would use @Bascoda Cytopath. And in this, we are showing the handle of Papinicolau Society, which is PAP Society. And in this tweet, we also made an attempt to tag various other accounts like Diagnostic Cytopathology. Dr. Jubair Baluch, Twitter handle is Akshar Anand, and we tagged him, and also myself and Dr. Bora. And you can also insert the link. As you can see in this one, we have inserted an article link of a diagnostic cytopathology article. And this is what I was talking earlier about the blue tweet tab. If you click on that, this is what it appears as. And I'm showing this image to show you an example of how to use the hashtag. If you are attending a meeting and you want other people who are also attending the meeting and following the live tweets, you need to use the proper hashtag that has been released by the meeting. Similarly, if you want to follow the post related to one subspecialty like cytopath, you use the hashtag of cyto. I'm sorry, I think most of the slides in our presentation are related to cyto because we both practice cytopathology, but I think it holds true for all other subspecialties of practice in pathology, if you are practicing GUPath, I have seen the hashtag of #GUPath, GI path, same. ID path is infectious disease path. So, and there are various fancy terms like criteria in pathology that you use for demonstrating any microorganisms that you encounter in real life. So why don't you take a minute, pause our recording, and see if you type any hashtags in any of those accounts, what pops up and whether you will find that helpful or not. Next slide, please. So now I have explained what hashtags are, why are we using the hashtags. The first is it is great for promoting your content. Another, it encourages the audience engagement. It makes searching more efficient. Like I just mentioned, you can just use the cytopath related post by using the hashtag cytopath. And again, it makes easier to find. It attracts more followers. So these are the most common hashtags in cytopathology, again, in Twitter. Here you can see the hashtags along with the organization handles, PAP Society, Diagnostic Cyto, Cytojournal, Cancer Cytopath, JAS Journal, IAC Cytology, British Cytology, and Cytopathology are some of the handles that has been used widely. And you will see a hashtag specific to the journals like DICE, Cancer Cyto, JAS, FNA Fridays, another famous famous hashtag, which was coined by one of our path colleague, Dr. Jiang. And whenever you are talking about one specific organization, like American Society of Cytopathology has ASC Cyto, Papa Society has PAP Cyto, and so on. So if you are ready to make your first post, I would advise at first like pause, go through the tweets that other individuals have posted, at least for a duration of 10 to 15 days. Just be a quiet follower. When you are ready, remember at the end of the day, you just need to give a example image to come to a diagnosis. So give an example image with as little information as possible so that you are abiding by the HIPAA rules. This image, like I tried to make it as vague as possible. I have not mentioned a specific age. I haven't mentioned when was it taken, whether it was a recent versus a very old case. Specifically, you need to be careful if you are trying to post about a very rare diagnosis. Try to wait until at least weeks or even months before posting it in social media. And there are various ways how you can embed a whole slide image to your tweet. In this particular tweet, I used another platform called Kiko, by which I was able to embed the whole slide image into this tweet. So, so so by now I think you might have gotten fair bit of idea of how to get started. For additional readings, there are multiple resources, but for me this is the one of the best resources. Dr. Mukhopadhyay is one of the best educator I have seen in the pathology Twitter platform, and this was the tweet that he released in I think it was in 2018, August 18, 2018. This is a tutorial, which means a series of the tweets which goes as a thread, and it gives everything that you need to get started in Twitter. Other article is a social media guide by Dr. Gardner, which also is a very good article to access. So, like Dr. Bora mentioned, we have been part of various organizations, and we actually handle their social media account. These are few examples of how we make it doable in part of our busy life. In the first image, you will see I'm handling Masterpath account, Diagnostic Cytopathology account, Pathology Society, and ASC account. So I have logged into all of the accounts, and whenever you click on your profile picture, you can see all the accounts that you have logged into, and you can switch between accounts with one simple click in the phone. Same in the desktop. If you have logged in once, you can easily switch between the accounts. Same holds true for Facebook as well as Instagram. But in LinkedIn, you are not able to do that. You have to actually sign out and sign into another account, which I find it really cumbersome if I'm trying to post the same content across the various platforms. There are various commercially available software which will do that for you, but for me, till now, I have navigated it without using any commercially available platform. Another thing you can also create, if you are using, especially I see this issue with Facebook, that's why I posted only a Facebook related example. If you are using Facebook as your personal profile and you wanted to keep it that way, you can create a page which can be a part of your personal profile and separate it to make it look like a professional. This is how you create a page in Facebook and keep it professional. You can share your professional achievement, you can share your professional recognitions, and gain followers. Like Dr. Bora mentioned, we are also part of social media committee of Papi Nicolau Society, and we have embedded all the social media accounts of Papi Nicolau Society into the website homepage. So if you go to the homepage of Papi Nicolau Society and click on about us, then you will see all the live social media feeds from all the accounts that we are handling for Papi Nicolau Society. So, how do you know your tweets are actually working? There must be some statistics, right, to support the fact that we are giving you. So it is very easy, even with the basic version across all social media platforms, to see how many actually opened your post, how many read your post, what was the engagement, how many visited your profile based on that tweet or post, and how much impression did you make on the basis of your tweet. This is an example of Dr. Bohra's impression. She made 13.9K impression over the last 30 period, as you can see here. Like again, one more time, I want to emphasize our primary duty as a physician is to protect patient privacy. So if you are hesitant to be in social media because you're nervous about breaking the patient privacy, this article published in AMA Journal of Ethics in 2016 will be a very helpful. And this table actually summarizes most of the things that I depicted in my prior slide. Avoid saying today I saw this case. You can say and anything, like you can say you don't even have to mention a day. And whenever there is a very unusual or a newsworthy circumstances, delay posting those cases. Don't post any full image features or even a unique tattoo or any identifying features of without any explicit patient information. Again, do not put a particular age. You can say elderly, middle age, young age, pediatric age group. Again, same with the geography. Try to be as vague as possible. And even with the anatomical site, you can modify to look at to make it as vague as possible.
Now I'm going to talk more about how to protect patient privacy. As we have learned so many benefits of social media, but at the same time, we have to be very careful what we are posting. And out of that, patient privacy is very important, as Dr. Sukriti Vaskota said, that de-identification of patient characteristics is important and adhere to the ethical principle. And this is the paper she was talking about. It's a great paper by Dr. Crane and Dr. Gardner, which tells us all the ethical principles behind this. And then it should have the content on social media should be same as standards, those for peer-reviewed publication. So since we can't put patient's identification peer-reviewed articles, similarly, we should not be putting anything of patient-related age or name, etc. on social media. So modify patient details. And basic thing to remember is on social media, do not fear it, use it positively, strive for accuracy, and when in doubt, pause and reread it before posting it. We recently published this article in Diagnostic Cytopathology, and basically this table is from that, and it tells us what all should we publish. And this is a list of things. I won't go over the entire list, but basically any new live feeds, companion meetings, membership flyers, why to join this particular organization, or any new article alerts, videos, Twitter chats, all these are the examples which we should be promoting on social media or posting on social media. What we should not post on social media, as I said, any protective health information, any unpublished research findings. We should not use any offensive content, and also never give medical opinions as professional advice on social media. Very important to remember that. Do not publish any copyright material without permission, and do not put any inaccurate medical information, especially sometimes even patients are looking at our post and they may be misguided with this. And don't ignore your own institution's social media policies. And also don't solicit formal consultative opinions on social media. Very important table. Again, this was in Diagnostic Cytopathology we published this year. So now I'm going to give it to Dr. Baskota to finish it.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bora. So by now, probably you have learned what to do and what not to do in social media. This table is a very short summary of what we discussed. Feel free to share interesting and educational cases with as little information as possible. Use social media as a platform to network, connect, live tweet the meetings, and like Dr. Bora mentioned, think and pause before you post. Don't post any protected health information. Do not ignore your institutional social media policies. Do not solicit formal consultative opinions. And do not post anything that you would not want your boss or your parents or anybody else to read. So this is the few references. We haven't accommodated all the references, but these are the few very helpful readings which was published in archives, diagnostic cytopathology, cancer cytopathology, and cytojournal. With that, we would like to thank everybody for tuning in and listening to our pre-recorded session on our on the path to Chicago ASCP 2024. You can follow us in social media. Both of our handles in Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Mine is Vikriti Baskota, and Dr. Bohra's is Dr. Poonam Bohra. Sorry, only Poonam Bohra. And for Twitter, my Twitter handle is Baskota Cytopath, and Dr. Bohra's Twitter handle is Poonam Bohra 3.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
And
much.
please feel free to reach us through the social medias or emails if you have any question about this talk or how to use social media. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.